Okay, so we've started. Okay. And we have 2 people. Is that just us? Oh, 3 people joining. Perfect. Okay, I think we are online and live. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining.
Maybe let's give it a few more minutes.
For sure. And for those joining, we're doing a little survey in the beginning, a little interactivity for you. This will let us know where we are with AI, how comfortable we are, and have we tried doing it. So please, if you can, scan the QR code with your phone and take the surveys. Just 2 questions. Pauline, if you're talking, you're on mute, by the way. No? Okay.
No.
And to those who just joined, say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. I imagine many of you are having lunch, so bon appetit. And we're also doing a little survey. It's just 2 questions, so let us know where we are with AI, our comfort level, and what have we tried doing with AI. So do take the survey. And we'll begin, I guess we'll give it another couple of minutes for people to join. Hi, Sabia, and I love Helsinki. I've been once a while ago. Really enjoyed the city. It's great. All right, I think we can maybe kick things off. I hope everyone tried the survey. Let's see what our results are. Okay. So we've got one daily driver, just one answer. And they've tried writing, research, brainstorming, images and design, data analysis, and building software. So a lot of experience. That's great. I would love to hear from the others. You can scan the QR on the screen. While people are doing the survey, Pauline, would you like to maybe kick us off?
Yes, of course. Let's do this. Hi, guys. Thank you very much for finding time. I'm Pauline. We have Alexey with us as well. We are both ex-McKinsey. We recently left this amazing company to try building something of our own. And I must admit, this entire webinar is also a bit of an experimentation for us. So please, if you have any thoughts, feedback, anything that is going through your head, you have chat, you have our contact information, feel free to share. This entire story started with us playing a lot with AI while building our own company and our own product. So we are building an AI employee for performance reviews. And what happened in parallel is that people started asking us, how do you do this? Like, how do you use AI? In which situations? How do you make sure that like the output that you get is high quality? How do you train it? And all of those conversations kind of have been around us for a while. So we decided, why don't we run a session to show some of the examples of the work we do, and hopefully share something useful for other people in the same situations like us, and hopefully you can get something helpful out of the session today. There are a few important disclaimers we make before we, I would love to make before we dig deeper. As most of you most likely familiar, there are so many ways to build things with AI, depending on one's personal comfort level, depending on the tools you use, depending on the industry you are in as well. So a conscious decision we made for this session is that we are not building anything technical, and we are using the tools that are available to almost everyone, regardless of their technical skill level. You can build something more sophisticated moving forward if you are like excited and interested about it. But for today's sessions, it's a very conscious decision to use tools that are available to people regardless of their level of technical comfort, so that it's available to broader audience. That's pretty much from me. Alexey is gonna be the one who are gonna show you the content, and I will sometimes chip in and add some stories from personal experience. And
Thank
please,
you.
if you have any questions, feel free to send messages in the chat. We will try to address them as much as possible as we go.
Yes, thank you, Pauline. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. There's nothing more valuable than time, and you decided to spend this 45 minutes with us. We are very grateful. My name is Alexey. Like Pauline said, we are both ex-McKinsey. We started working this year together, and it's in the space of people operations, people well-being at work, performance reviews, and all that kind of stuff. And we're building a lot with AI, and we thought, we'll share what we've learned with others, and hopefully it rubs off, and there'll be more builders in the world, which I think is wonderful. AI is a tool that is magical and disruptive at the same time. And so we also think a lot about how people will interact with AI, in the coming future. We're building, like Pauline said, an AI employee. So this is all really interesting for us, really on point. And I hope what we talk about today is useful. Now, I also want to add that, like Pauline said, we thoughtfully decided to go the simpler route, explaining things that are available to others. So if you know some of this stuff already and tried it, hopefully you'll see maybe a different approach from us. But if you haven't tried it, I really urge you to do so. And after the webinar, we'll share all the materials, all the prompts. And I'm seeing that I'm having a connection issue. Pauline, can you still see me? Riverside was complaining that I have a connection issue. All good? All good. Okay.
You do have a connection issue.
I do have a connection issue. Is it better now? Am I back?
A bit,
yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Like if there's something wrong. Let me know. Maybe I need to restart or something. So to begin our story, I want to ask you: does any of this sound familiar in your interactions with AI? The output you get is very generic. It feels like it doesn't really get you or your business or what you do, and it feels like you have to sort of put a lot of context, a lot of words into every prompt. If this is so, the problem isn't the model itself that you're using, but it is the context. And models need as much context as possible. And we're all unique individuals with different stories, different jobs, different roles, different responsibilities. And so we need to find a way to bring this context to AI, but also to make sure that this context grows and develops just like we do as people. So what we're going to talk about today is what everybody nowadays calls second brain. And it's a very simple thing. It's a place. In the cases that we're looking at today, it's going to be Notion or just a folder on your computer. It has a manifest that tells the AI sort of where to look and how to approach each task. and it provides the context that a specific task would require. So it knows things like who your customers are, what kind of product or service you sell, how you talk and write, your voice, your case studies, right? Your kind of proof points. This is what I've done. This were the results. And also just your brand, whether a company or a personal brand. And interestingly enough, all of this needs to be in very simple files, either Notion pages or can be plain TXT files. Markdown is very popular. HTML is becoming even a bit more popular, I would say, nowadays. All very simple, very boring on purpose. And the reason I want to keep them boring is because if it's boring, then it's easier to understand, easier to upkeep, easier to look after. So the plan for today is first, hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate the difference between having a second brain in your AI and not having one. Give you a little look into what ours looks like and the 9 fundamental documents that make it up. And hopefully teach you how to build one. We'll provide a special Claude skill that interviews you and then creates those 9 fundamental documents for you. With all of that, like I said, then we'll share documentation that takes you through step by step with all the prompts and all the information needed. I wanted to ask, how does that sound? Would love to hear from you in the chat. Any questions so far? One of the I'm sure a lot of you have heard the word pedagogy, which is the science of teaching children and how children learn. But there's also a growing field called andragogy, which, if you can guess, is how adults learn. And one of the important things for successful adult learning is to participate and to ask questions and to share your opinions and your stories. And this way you're also enriching our process and helping yourselves. So feel free to use the chat. We would love to hear from you. All right, so what we'll start with is a simple prompt, and we'll test it across a couple of instances of Claude to see what kind of answer we get. So the prompt is asking Claude to write some hero banner copy for our product Ron, AI Talent Manager, for his landing page, and to create a headline, sub-headline, and a button. So I'll start with just a simple. In fact, I'll go incognito, right? So this is what you get when Claude doesn't know anything about you at all.
We don't see your screen, Alexey. We still see the presentation.
I'm sorry, I've pressed the wrong button. 1 second. Okay, can you see it now? I think you should be able to.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the same prompt, right? The hero banner for my product, etc., etc. And this is what an absolutely empty Claude does. He asks, what is Ron, right? What is it? And I'll say it's an AI agent. And what kind of tone fits the brand? And let's be sleek and professional. So here is the very generic, I would say, output, right? Could fit any niche, any product. Doesn't really explain much, and most of it is just sort of superfluous. Now, let's try doing the same connected to brain. So I've already set it up here as a project. This is one way you can do this. Already in here, it has instructions and has all those documents that I've mentioned. And here we'll put the same prompt and see what happens. Fingers crossed. All right, and so here's this output. And this output, I have to say, I do prefer this much better. First of all, it tells us exactly what Ron is, what kind of AI agent he is, what he does, where he lives. This all speaks very much to how we see him and how we position him. So why did we get this very different replies? Same AI, same prompt, but what was different was what the model knows, right? Memory that it collects, I would think about as almost accidental, and it's so hard with memory, even though it's getting better and better with every model release. It's very hard to predict what will come up from the memory and what it will remember about you. The brain allows you to really control how AI will approach a task and what kind of context it will use. So that knowledge is basically the second brain. So like I said, it consists of 9 pretty boring documents. There's README, the first one, and this is the orchestration. And basically, it tells Claude, this is what I am. This is how you approach each task. These are the files you look at. This is what we're doing in specific cases, etc., etc. I'm not going to go very deep into it. I think you afterwards you can take a look and kind of play with it, or even better, create one from scratch using the interview skill. But next one, and this is an important one, we'll come back to this, is the inbox. This is a place where you can kind of drop any raw thoughts, any ideas, anything that you want remembered. And the way that we've set up a second brain up, there is a daily loop in the evening, or you can set it at any time you want, but it goes into all the chats that you had, and also and it gets all the nuggets, all the insights, everything that could be useful, and then puts it in the inbox. And then once a week, there's a review where you sit down on Friday or Sunday, whatever it may be, 10, 15 minutes, and you kind of go through the inbox. AI offers you where it will put it, into which file, how it will use the context, and then you review it, okay it, and then you have a clean inbox again. So that's the idea here. Business, very simply, what it is that you do. If you don't run a business, maybe you're a student, for example, this can be something about what you study, where you study, what kind of classes you have, etc., etc.
Can I jump in?
Of course.
Yeah, and I think this business section is often the most difficult for solopreneurs to build, and actually one of the most useful exercises that you can do to build, because while setting it up, and Alexey will show later how AI can interview you to get there. But while you are setting this up, this also pushes you to explain a lot of things that you are doing to an AI. And I'm now teaching my mom how to use AI, and I'm telling her, like, you should think about AI like he's an over-enthusiastic junior intern when you hire him from scratch. So when you are building this business section specifically, you spent a lot of time reflecting on, like, what are the elements about your business this enthusiastic intern should know. And it really helps structure, and then even for yourself to vocalize what you do. It was extremely helpful for us when we did this for the first time.
Very true. The rest of the documents, again, they cover your customers. If you have your offer, what is it? What is the service that you sell? What's the pricing? What's the value? All that kind of stuff. Any case studies, any numbers you might have. Again, your voice, how you sound, what some of the banned words. Never use this and this, but always use that and that. And also your brand, your colors, the identity. If this is something that's important to you. Again, maybe you're working on landings or websites, PowerPoint presentations. All of that can be taken into consideration. So one thing that I mentioned to you is the ability to add things to my brain. And basically, if we go back to Claude, just let me switch the tab. So save this to my brain. Someone on LinkedIn the other day mentioned that they think using AI in consulting is cheating.
We don't see your screen.
Really? It shows that. Oh, strange. It was telling me that the screen is being shared. Yeah, not sure what's happening. Let me try again. I think I know why, because I'm using Claude in the browser, and for this to work, it needs to be in my
Yeah, now we see it.
desktop. On my now you can see it. I'm just saying that for this to work, for saving to my brain, I need to use the desktop Claude, and I've set this up with the website Claude because we're in Riverside. Okay, but anyway, using our second brain, you can add save this to my brain, say what it was, and then, like I said, it writes it into the inbox, and then once a week you can review it using the other skill for reviews. Now let's try and look at the brain builder interview. So here's the full prompt. We'll share all of it afterwards, and I'm gonna copy it here, and then I'm gonna try and share Claude again. Let's see. Can you see my Claude chat right now? So here's how the interview works, right? It explains you how long it will take, what kind of things that are needed, and then it goes into questions. So in your own words, like you're explaining to a friend, not writing website copy, what does the run actually do, who's behind it, how long has it been in the works, how does the money actually come in, subscription, etc., etc. And you can go through, use your voice, and I would recommend, and I'm not the only one, I'll go into that in a second, I would recommend that you use the voice function here and just sit down with a cup of coffee and just ramble all of the thoughts, all of the ideas, everything that you can remember off the top of your head to answer these questions. Pauline?
Yeah, I want to add one point to that. So I personally still haven't got used to talking to Claude with the mic. What I did is I have a Zoom, like I set up an empty Zoom meeting with a recorder. Like I use Phantom, but you can use Granola, Fireflies, whatever feels best. And then I just go through the questions one by one. I get the recording, and most of them allows also to get the transcript out of the recording. I then get the transcript and send it to Claude. If you are a bit more familiar with like connectors, etc., most of those tools, they also have MCPs, so you can connect it directly to Claude and ask Claude to get your transcripts from the conversation with yourself in this case.
Yeah. So I won't bore you with answering those questions, but you get the idea. And the brain builder goes through sections. So first is a business snapshot. There's customers, your offer value, your proof, voice brand operations. I'd recommend that you talk or at least try it. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but I think overall, I think it's a great way to do this. And don't take it just from me. Andrej Karpathy, he was the founding member of OpenAI, did AI at Tesla as well, and like a very prolific scientist. I think half the industry probably owes their knowledge about neural engines and machine learning to him. And he's been saying this the same thing, right? Sit down and just ramble. Don't worry about being unstructured and sort of things just coming out as they do. AI is great at structuring information, and you will really be impressed with the results. And I think we have a message in chat. Whisperflow, yeah, I'm a huge fan. That's what I use all the time. Whisperflow is great. And actually, they've added, just the other day, they've added meeting notes as well. So now, sort of one tool for everything, which I think is really great. All right, so how would you build your own second brain, and what are the steps? So first, pick a home. Like I said, this could be Notion, and I can demonstrate it here. Very similar setup, right? We have a page. The README is the main page, and then underneath the sub pages, there's one for each document. Again, describing all the same things that I've showed you in empty files.
Can I add one thing? For the tools, we've seen people using Notion. Ours often now lives in our internal kind of self-hosted Postgre, but this is maybe a little bit more advanced. You don't need it in the very beginning. You can also use something like Airtable if you have more kind of structured data for this. And then if you are comfortable with having it locally, Obsidian is a really nice tool, and it allows you also to bring in a lot of different visualizations of your knowledge and of your data. So just play with whatever feels the most comfortable. The simplest way, as Alexey was saying, is to do it directly in Claude and in a project. The next best thing is maybe Notion, because this allows you to have both kind of direct connectivity and the visualization.
Right. So step 1, pick home. Step 2, run the brain builder interview. Should take you about 20 minutes, give or take. Then wire it in. So either a project where you upload all of the files that you've created with the brain builder, or Notion where you can create the pages. And you can actually ask Claude to do this for you. You don't have to do it with your hands. Claude Cowork is great at that. There's a connector to Notion, but even if you don't know where to look for it, you can just type, hey, how do I connect to Notion? And Claude will get you there. And then the two things that will close the loop, right? So use the sort of the brain dump to add everything to the inbox, and run the loop once a day for all your chats. So all the chats that you have with Claude, so you can get all of the insight, all the decisions that you've made, all the important information. And then once a week, do a Friday review of your inbox so that it takes all of that context and puts it in the correct document. Let's maybe quickly look at that. To those two prompts, the loop and the review. This is very much a capture, review, distill kind of process that runs on a loop. So that way you will not forget anything. And even if you do forget, Claude is great at making sure all that stuff is put in the right place. This is the daily loop prompt, right? And it's you're calling it a second brain gardener. And the basic idea is to, here are the documents that I use in my brain. What you have to do is go through all the chats, sweep them, capture everything that's important, flag if anything, like maybe there's a conflict, for example, with what's already in the brain and this new information. So maybe we need some input from you. And then obviously, like, this is the stuff to skip, small talk, anything that doesn't pertain to my business, for example, etc. You can.
And I think for some time we've been running it manually, but we've also been playing with an idea of setting up a Claude Code routine to do that. So depending on also like where you are hosting it, because not all of the tools are available for Claude Code routines in this case, but you can also do it automatically.
Exactly. So this shouldn't take all very long. So what would you need to run this and to create this Claude subscription? The simpler one, the Pro, I think is called right now. It should be enough. Either Notion if you're already using it, or if you want to plan to use it, or just a folder, which is very simple and about 20 minutes of your time. You've got the 3 prompts to take home: the brain builder, the interviews, the daily loop that feeds it, and the weekly review that keeps the whole thing alive. And you can get everything from today from here. We'll also, I think, send an email to everyone with the same information, but you can take a look now if you'd like, while it's fresh, and start. And I was wondering if maybe we have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like us to go into a little deeper. And then apart from that, yeah.
No, go.
No, I thought you said something. And if you are curious to learn more, if you'd like to chat to us or maybe even work with us, we are now building a study cohort. You can join the waitlist if you'd like, follow the QR code or the link. But also feel free to just reach out to us if you need some help or support. We're very open and love connecting with other builders and helping them out.
I think we were perfectly on time. We even have 15 more minutes left, which is very first time this is happening to us. Generally, we overrun.
Usually we overrun things, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, we are, like, if you have any questions, we will stay here for a few more minutes. If not, super happy to give you 15 minutes back. Go grab coffee. We know it's lunchtime for most of you. Go build your AI brain, very importantly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We hope this was useful. We hope the site that we share and all the information there is helpful. If anything is not clear, or like I said, if you want to get in touch, do. We'd love to hear from you. And again, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
I see your message, Sheldon. I'm not sure if I'm finding it in the interface. But we
request to ask a question. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
I need to.
This is our first time in Riverside. We'll be honest.
You know. I've been only doing my podcasts on Riverside. That's it. Okay, we will get better.
Hey!
Hey!
How are you guys doing? First time on Riverside. First time on Riverside.
So I use it to record the podcast, but it's always one-to-one. So it's never like a hosted session.
Nice. Well done, guys. I mean, this is a great first time session that you guys are running on Riverside. It's my favorite platform to run webinars. So you guys did a great job. Good job presenting, Pauline and Alexey. I think, I don't know how many people on this call, but I think I see 11 people on it. Yeah, like very clear instructions on how to build this with the good breakdown. So I think a lot of people will get a lot of value out of this. My question was, can you explain a use case of one of the clients that you're working with and how they're using the system within their company and what parts of their business are they using it in? Is it just for talent or are you using it in different areas of the business as well?
And here, I think, Sheldon, you're asking about the product, right?
Yes.
The Ron. Sure. So the way we think about Ron is like an AI employee, right? And like a real employee, he comes to work and has the daily schedule. He gets paid, although much less than you'd pay to a real person.
He gets paid.
He gets paid, yeah, monthly salary, yeah.
He also gets his expenses covered, and he has a probation, everything. Like it's properly set up.
Okay, all right.
And he does the work of a talent manager. So what does a talent manager do? So this actually, interestingly, this role is very young. It's about 20 years old or so. The first time talent management became like a thing in the academic papers was about 20 years ago. But this is a person who, unlike a classic HR person who looks after a lot of administrative and compliance things, a talent manager looks after people and their development and growth, as well as things that sort of help and support and sort of translate into it. For example, performance reviews, one-on-ones, feedback, all that kind of stuff. You need someone there to run it and to nudge people and to get people to follow the process. And so that's the idea behind Ron. We started off as doing performance reviews, and then I realized that I would love like an intern to help me with some of this stuff. And then it's like, well, why an intern? Why not an AI agent? And so Ron was born. And right now, Ron has a harness, a playground, if you wish, where he does his work. It's called Growth Hub, and it's all about growing people, helping them understand, what good looks like, and how to get to the next level in their job or career, and that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And while we were building Ron, this is how our second brain was born, because also now we have like everything running in one system, and it actually helped us realize how different can it be if you feed the model the right context. And I mean, I think we sometimes still get it wrong if we forget to connect it, or there is an important update. You need to kind of put a bit of effort into training it, but it's a huge value. Yeah. And I think it got significantly better specifically when Fable came in.
Yes.
Because we were building previously, it would take me 5, 7, 8 iterations to get to a version of let's say a landing page or a document that I would feel comfortable kind of putting out in the world. Now with the brain and with the Fable, generally it's 2, 3 maximum.
That's awesome. So how do you, if I may ask a second question, how do you guys, if say a client, you bring on board a client, how are you embedding this into their systems at the moment? I saw that it integrates with the Slack and emails and all of those things, but what does the onboarding look like when a client says, say for example, I want to be one of your clients, how would you take all my information and onboard me into your system?
So there is a current version and there is an aspirational version.
Of course.
The current version is that we have multiple small tools that are built around what we are doing. So we have a tool that helps to build a competency matrix. We have a tool that can help you kind of structure the org chart and so on and so on. We are mostly doing it, some of them are built in tools, some of them are very, very manual, kind of our knowledge plus context of the company plus our expert knowledge, because mostly we work with companies where we have content expertise. I spent 8 years building design teams across the world. So nice. That's generally what we play with. Then the aspirational version is that you basically install an app in your Slack, for example, which is Ron. You, as a founder or as an HR, if very rarely they have one, or as a VP of the organization looking after the growth topic, you basically talk to him and you explain to him what you already have, what you don't have. For example, in most of the companies, they would have values written to some extent.
That's right.
They might have some kind of manifesto, etc. That's already a great foundation that you can use to run those performance review cycle. And this all goes into the Ron's brain. And each organization gets their own version of Ron. They can even rename it if they want. And the idea is that this is becoming the knowledge that Ron knows about the organization, and it is progressively updating also. If I'm a founder and today I run only a design business, but I want to bring product management expertise in, I can also talk to Ron and say hey, that's something I would love to be added into our aspiration. When you talk to people, try to understand who are of my people in my team already have the knowledge around this topic. And this all still turns around the idea of this shared context about the organization. We are just, here we were covering a bit more broad context about how it can be used for solopreneurs, people running their own businesses, small teams like ours. But it's the same logic that we use for our product, who is running the reviews in the organization.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love what's going on right now in this space. I'm I'm a total nerd when it comes to this, so this is totally my jam kind of thing. Right?
Same. That's how
And by the
that's
way,
how
guys,
it all started.
yeah, I know. And by the way, I didn't realize we all are wearing black. We all coordinated really
The
well.
uniform, right?
So
Yes,
it almost
yes.
feels like
Sheldon, we
it.
should have invited you to run the podcast. And I mean, I also should compliment your setup.
Thank you, thank you.
Because we still have a bit of upgrade to do on ours.
Both of your setups look pretty good. I really like Alexey's setup as well. He's got the books and stuff in there as well. If anyone is watching this, this is not a plant. I didn't know these guys. I just came to the podcast to this webinar. Like I didn't coordinate with these guys. If you're thinking, how come they all wearing the same T-shirt and all of that? This is the first time I'm meeting Pauline. I actually met Alexey briefly at a Bodhi event. We had like an event that was organized by a company in Bodhi. So that's when I met Alexey and found out about. But this is amazing. I love what you guys are building. It's very close to the purpose that we have in our company named Tribe, which is all about workplaces that are new tribes. So how do we help people form the same values and mission and help them in that direction? And I love that what you guys are building is actually adding to that whole ecosystem of how do we build teams and high performance around shared values, shared mission, so that you can unlock creativity and innovation. And I love this aspect of how you're introducing the second brain in there. So amazing job, guys. I'm going to be rooting for you guys. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing.
Amazing.
Right.
Well, it was a very nice addition. Thank you, Sheldon, for making it more interactive and lovely. We love having people pop in and talk to us because it feels less weird than talking to a camera.
Yep. And now you have live call-in feature.
Exactly. I didn't know that.
Live call-in, accept me.
We should do that.
Yes.
So next webinar we do, we'll get people to call in. I think this would be cool.
Yeah, this is a cool feature. I love it. The call-in, and only Riverside has this kind of feature. I don't think the other platforms do. So this is it's fun.
No. We saw a lot of platform, like a lot of similar webinars being run on like Zoom or WhatsApp, but I think broadly Riverside also offers a lot of like nice features on the background. So we really wanted to keep it here.
Yeah,
amazing.
Just an inside scoop on Riverside. Riverside has just, if you're on the waitlist, they've released the MCP. So your second now edit videos with Riverside using its video agents. So all you have to do is connect the MCP and your Claude will speak to the other agents and start editing this whole webinar for you and create clips and stuff that you can release on YouTube or wherever else. Plus it has a new calendar. So you can release it on all social media platforms in one go.
Oh, this one, I mean, with all due respect to Riverside, I love their tool, but I think this is a bit of a beta version for now because I did test it and I have some stuff to share.
Yeah. Well, if someone's watching this at Riverside, please pick up on this when Alexey
we want to talk to you.
or when they release it on YouTube or wherever this goes. So yeah, this is fantastic. Great job, guys.
Fantastic.
Love it. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.